I used to ask my students to do presentations on regular basis to help them boost their confidence and kill that fear when they face an audience. Fortunately, everybody reciprocated respectively and did a great job until I mentioned his name. He blushed in a wink of an eye, and his eyes could see nothing but the ground. I felt that his whole body was shaken, as if an electric shock caught him. His reaction was really surprising and so exaggerated. He just nodded his head to do the presentation next day. When I asked about him, his mates told me that he was absent, to know later that he was dead afraid of doing his presentation and facing his mates. Although he was one of my top students, super intelligent, so courteous, and very creative, unfortunately, his confidence was horribly shaken. I really felt so hurt, since I wanted to help him to an unimaginable extent. I failed at first to convince him to stand steadily in front of his mates, and I told him many times that he would get it through the same experience years later at university. Nevertheless, all of my attempts were to no avail. He thought that he would get admonished by me or get mocked and bullied by his mates as soon as he would do a presentation. I assured him that all of that was just living in his imagination that was unwisely used. I said, "Dear, to be creative, you must be crazy about the ideas you want to express, since creativity is when you take your soul, body, and mind to a pristine land, when you follow your passion to see yourself and blow away your audience, touch their hearts, and help them solve their problems by applying your words, lessons, and methods to their daily life, and when you can show all of your talents without waiting for any judgments, since if you are still dead scared of people's judgment, you won't budge an inch forward. To do so, remember that imagination is your gate to let your creative side shine through. You can't materialize if you don't visualize yourself doing a great job. You must build a clear and vivid pictures in your mind to live them many times beforehand. So when it's time to speak up, you will never have those obsessive deadly thoughts anymore. All faces will be very familiar with you, and the setting will be at your command to rise on your throne and let everybody get captivated by your performance. Dear, utilize your imagination and feel it with all your senses. See your mates cheer you up, give you a round of applause, and give you a standing ovation. And then they will shower you with hilarious comments to be on cloud 9. Stand in the middle of your room and study your body language. See how you talk, how you walk, how you express your words, and how you can impress your mates with your fabulous performance. Stand in front of a mirror and speak. Let your words flow stunningly from your mouth. Try to include some exciting stories to grab your mate's attention and live this experience many times before the show. Use low and high intonations when necessary. Add more positive vibes to your speech. Dear, sweat in the peacetime to relax in the wartime. Believe me, you can do it. Just give it a try and see yourself as an eloquent speaker whose speech is catchy, informative, thrilling, and full of practical daily examples that help your mates understand their surroundings better. You don't have to lower your head anymore since you are handsome enough the way you are. You must always raise your head high because you have a lot of knowledge to share with people. Never let that shyness victimize you day and night, since you have all the preliminaries of success. Just put your positive imagination to use and prove yourself before you prove anyone else that you can do it. And remember, that shyness that has always deteriorated your creativity is just fake. and is spurious. After I charged his positivity, he was wonderfully ready for the presentation. It was the show time. At last, he stood in front of his mates to do what he had always dreamed of. To act in the face of fear, he had an awesome eye contact with everybody in the class. Kept walking slowly but confidently like a king among his mates, as if he was strolling by the beach, and talked fearlessly until the end of his speech. Simultaneously, I reminded all of his mates to do their best to support him, and they did cooperatively. At last, he did it miraculously and felt so proud of himself. Indeed, I did nothing but spark that light of the liquid and inspirational speaker that he has always tied to gigantic chains of fear. That fear that he has always run away from lives within him. So he knew well that if he kept running away from it, it would keep chasing him. And the more he got far from it, the bigger, the more horrifying, the more painful, and the more difficult it would become to handle it. Dear, do the same. Face your fears and tame them before they turn you to a shaken, vulnerable, naive, and coward person. You have nothing to lose. All you have to do is to prepare yourself well, gather your materials, write good stories related to your topic, rehearse day and night, walk across your room, see your audience here and there, and visualize your amazing presentation over and over again to live this juicy experience and rejoice it to the fullest. Years later, that shaken guy has become one of the best presenters of my students. So, I don't have to choose him myself, but he always takes the initiative himself and shows us a great willingness to do more and more fabulous presentations, since there is nothing to be afraid of anymore. Now, it's your turn, dear. Have it a try and see yourself how refreshing, touching, and awesome that experience is.